everyone, this week we are driving out to Long Island and I want to take you to one of my favorite farms where I can buy some local produce. But along the way, I want to show you some interesting things and kind of have like a day trip with my viewers. I love this time of the year, September, October, because the weather is still generally pretty warm here in New York City, but the leaves are beginning to change their colors. It's apple season, tomatoes, potatoes, apple ciders, and of course, pumpkins. So life on these local farms is booming with excitement, and the weather along with the scenery creates a fantastic atmosphere. And Long Island has many great farms and vineyards, but we are going to this one specifically because they have a large variety of products in terms of fruits and vegetables, and this week I am planning to stock up on those and have some healthy eating for a change. So the place we are heading out to is Lewin Farms, which is about 70 miles from Manhattan or so. However, before I show you how apples look like, I will stop by this place, the Grumman Memorial Park. Now, I love this little park because it has two aircrafts, the A6 Intruder and the F-14 Tomcat. It all began with Leroy Grumman, who was born on Long Island in Huntington, a brilliant engineer who passed away in 1982. He co-founded the Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation, which again began on Long Island, producing numerous planes for the military and the civilian market. I said this before in one of my videos on this channel, but Long Island has an incredibly rich history in aviation, and so far we only really have scratched the surface of it, if even that at this point. The company really expanded during World War II with over 25,000 employees as military contracts soared. And eventually they are known for producing some of the more iconic planes like the two we see here. The A6 Intruder, which was in service from 1960 until 1997. And then from the other side, the beautiful F-14 Tomcat. I think this is one of the most beautiful planes in terms of design which was ever put together. Now, I'm saying this with some bias. First, my last two articles focused on military history, so it's something I have a lot of interest in. So in general, when I see tanks, planes, ships, these things right away direct my attention. Second, of course, Top Gun movies. Not just the use of the F-14 Tomcat in the original movie from 1986, a movie on which I grew up on, but also making an appearance in the newer one as well, Top Gun Maverick. So since Top Gun is one of my favorite movies, seeing the F-14 Tomcat creates like a nostalgia due to that movie for me. And so seeing the plane always gives me a little bit of goosebumps. And to see the plane from this distance is just unbelievable. I mean, look, you can stand beneath it. How cool is that? The plane is flying since 1970 and it was retired in 2006. Just like in the A6 Intruder, you have two people inside, the pilot and the radar intercept officer in the back, who deals with cameras, communication, and, well, radar. If any of you saw the new Top Gun movie, the wings on the F-14 Tomcat do come out. Here you see them in the swept back position when the plane goes fast, and they can come out, move forward for slower speeds. I love that they put that feature into the new movie. I think it was such a cool touch. But those of you from New York, next time you watch the Top Gun movie or see an F-14 Tomcat in general, think about the fact that they were produced right here on Long Island. Kind of on the other side of the park, you have an air-to-air long-range missile, the AIM-54A Phoenix missile. Look how big it is compared to my hand, and weighing in just over 1,000 pounds. An F-14 could carry 6 of them, and they have a range of almost 100 miles. That is crazy to think about. There are a few other pieces here that are pretty interesting, like that guard booth you see right there in the distance on the left side, which stood in the Grumman's Bethpage facility. Hence, if anyone is in the area or nearby, I think it is definitely worth a visit. And not to mention that literally across the street is the Calverton National Cemetery, which is the third national cemetery here on the island. Well, Long Island. There's one in Brooklyn, another one in Farmingdale. I believe I mentioned that one already on this channel. And here we have the third one, which opened in the 1970s. And today has over 250,000 people buried. So again, national cemeteries are places where members of the United States military and their eligible family members are buried. Okay, let's finally go on that farm I was talking about. And again, Long Island has many great farms, and I'm just showing one of them, but do not be surprised if I make more videos like this in the future. Here we are at Lewin Farms, but look at the gorgeous weather we are still having in New York City, even in late October. So finally, let me take you on some shopping. Fruits and veggies? Yes, this is exactly why we are here. Oh, okay, I didn't get roasted corn this time, but I did have it on numerous occasions before, and yep, it's pretty good. Now, before we go in, you have a very big selection of flowers, and I just love the different colors and choices, and you have such a great atmosphere, like country music is blasting away on the speakers while you are mesmerized by all the flowers. And then we have this, a giant corn. Alright, let's go inside and let me show you the good stuff. First up, apple cider donuts. Yes, definitely yes, that's going into the cart. But one of my targets is also a 50-pound bag of potatoes. Why, you might ask? Well, let's just say I am sick and tired of paying $5 for a small bag by my house and then throwing out like a third of it because it has bruises. And since I do have a cold place where I could store them, they should last me like 2 months, if not more. But look at the beautiful selection of vegetables and tomatoes. Of course, it is pumpkin season, so there is lots and lots of variety here as well. Corn, which I roast myself, so some butter, garlic, take me away to heaven right there and then. Nice selection of apples, but I am on a search for a specific apple. These, look, I press as hard as I can on them and nothing. They are hard as a rock. The ones which you need to call the dentist after eating because you chipped a tooth. Those are the types of apples I love. Carrots, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, all these I am stocking up on. So here it is. If anyone is wondering how is the salary of a New York City professor being spent, it's here. Fruits and vegetables. Well, mostly. Let's not forget about those apple cider donuts, which I could guarantee you will not be reaching my house in that bag. But before I leave the farm, come on, I gotta bring out the inner kid in me, and it would not be a full visit if I did not go into the corn maze. So here we go. As you see, there is plenty of corn, although this is field corn, not the sweet corn we buy in stores. This corn is mostly used to feed the animals, and I guess you can try to eat it, but it's certainly not tasty, and this is hard as a rock. Now, I was joking really about chipping your teeth, eating the apples I like, but with this corn, you will probably need a new set of teeth. It's something I do not even mess around with myself. How do I know? Well, a friend told me. So a big chunk of money was spent, but it's local produce, it's healthy, it will last me for a few days, and honestly, I would probably spend a lot more money at my local supermarket buying something in smaller amounts every day. Yeah, prices in New York City are not cheap lately. But you know what? My plan was to go into the maze, record for like 30 seconds, and then get out. All I see along the way is checkpoints. Here we are checkpoint number 4. So okay, I thought to myself there's probably 5 checkpoints and then the exit right behind it. So here is checkpoint number 5, but no exit inside. Something I thought will take me a minute, now I'm running around for 5 minutes, if not more at this point, looking for the darn exit. Checkpoint 6, no exit. Checkpoint 7, no exit. At this point, I just felt like running straight through the darn thing, but before my inner thoughts took over, I finally saw the exit. And a great job sign. So if anyone is wondering, 7. You have to find and go through 7 checkpoints. Come on. Okay, but you know what? It's fun, especially for the kids. But I did tell you this will be like a day trip with me, so I want to show you something else. Let's drive up a short distance, I don't know, maybe it's like 3 miles or so. Along the way, you will pass many other farms, each one having its own unique character, and you can maybe do something like pumpkin picking. But what I want to show you is this here, an old windmill next to the main road. This is an interesting building. I absolutely do not know anything about this. I'm serious. A few years back, as I drove by and noticed this for the first time, I tried to do some research and see the history behind this building, which is like a windmill, but I absolutely could not find any information on the internet. And even for this video, like I say, I do not really do any research other than looking up dates and names and things like that. But I did a quick search about this and I still really didn't find anything. It's kind of fascinating. Was this actually a windmill? I don't know. Honestly, the design of it is really weird for a windmill. It might be possible that the white house that you see was built later around the actual windmill, which is the structure inside, because the building itself seems like it would be blocking the wind from certain angles. Or that is at least what I think. I'm not a windmill expert or anything like that, but looking at some other older windmills, I did not come across a design like this one. But someone is somewhat maintaining it, as there's a new door and like Christmas lights are hanging off from it. Unfortunately, as you see, one of the front windows is broken, hence I can show you a little bit of the inside, but the last time I was here it was intact, so must have happened recently. But it is one of those things that goes to show you that no matter where you live, there is much to explore and history to uncover, some of which is not as easy to uncover as you would think. But maybe someone watching this video and knowing a bit more information about this building can fill the rest of us in on it. If I was like doing a research project, I would probably contact the local historical society or see where the archives are, and I'm sure I would be able to dig up something. But for now, this remains a mystery to me. But speaking about unusual things, I figured I will show you one more weird place here on Long Island. And so on my drive back home, I took a little detour to arrive here, a Home Depot parking lot in Comac, where we have a graveyard in the middle of a parking lot. Now that is unusual. This is the graveyard of the Bur family, who used to have a farm in this location. And the graves go back to like the 1850s. Later, this became the Bridley Field where pilots from World War I trained on those first early airplanes. So in a way, today we come a full circle from a look at the F-14 Tomcat, this iconic plane, to now here, a place where some of the first American pilots trained. And now, as you saw, I have almost $100 worth of fruits and vegetables cooking up in the trunk of my car. So I need to get back home as quickly as I can, and I hope I will see you all back again next week as we explore another location somewhere here in New York. Take care, everyone.